So I've been working in the express parcel sector ever since the kind of mid-90s, I suppose, and during that time I worked for a lot of different express parcel carriers over the years, and during that time I spotted a thing or two that really for me didn't make sense, and very much kind of goes on to what we've done at Diamond Logistics to combat some of those challenges in the express parcel market. So number one of the things I really realised quite early on was that deliveries aren't profit making. You've got this massive infrastructure in place to handle the delivery side of things, but actually the reality is that that infrastructure costs you more than the revenue that you're actually seeing coming in on that side of the business. It's only made up then by the collections in the afternoon. The second thing I really realised, again quite early on, is that you have to have these colossal warehouses, so 50,000 plus square foot warehouse to be able to house all of the inbound deliveries on a daily basis, and then to be able to sort those into some kind of sensible pile ready for the C&D vehicles to come into the yard and actually load up first thing in the morning. And again throughout the vast majority of the day thereafter, the warehouse lays empty and just kind of gathering dust really. So that was another thing. Over the years as well, I've identified that there are very few players in the market that will take a broad freight profile. And what I mean by that is that once upon a time you could utilise one carrier that fits all in terms of a solution to the end client, but nowadays that's just impossible. You can't do it. CityLink were probably the last ones to try to handle the small in the post, right the way up to the big awkward traffic, and we all know how that ended up. And then finally, really, my fourth point on the express carriers is that it's bloody hard work, to be fair. You know, you've got to see in the inbound trailers at 4 o'clock in the morning. You then are busy trying to get the deliveries out. Then you've got this kind of period during the day where you're just making sure that everything's going as it should do. And then the back end of the day, it all kicks off again when you've got your C&D vehicles coming back with collections. You've got to get the trailers out, you know, on time to go to the sortation hub. And then really your shift finishes 10 o'clock at night if you're lucky. So 4 o'clock in the morning through until 10 o'clock at night. And if you're a self-employed subcontractor that is doing driving for those individual express carriers, again, you can expect to be in the depot at kind of between 5 and 6 in the morning and not actually getting back into the depot until 6, 7 o'clock at night. Then you've got to debrief and then get yourself out. So it is really, really hard work out there in the express sector. There's a lot of pressure on people, and you know, so they're the kind of 4 points that I really kind of took into consideration when you know, Kate and I built this model within Diamond Logistics, and to combat each of those individual challenges, in terms of the deliveries not being profit making, we decided, well, why then do them? Why not concentrate on the things that are making the money, which is the collection side of things. What we effectively do here at Diamond Logistics is we partner with delivery agents, which are the main express carriers out in existence today. And what we do is we play to the strengths of those individual networks, making sure that we're routing our customers' traffic via those individual network partners, and putting the lines of traffic through that are actually going to make sense to those individuals. But actually it's those express parcel carrier partners that we're utilising for the delivery bit, which means that our infrastructure is set up for the collections and the collections alone. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that the warehouse that sits empty for kind of 7-8 hours a day. Well, we've combated that by adding in a storage and fulfillment service, which means that we are turning our warehouse into a revenue generating tool. It's effectively become a collection vehicle, so that we're housing customers' products on site, and then we're doing the full pick and pack and then the dispatch via those multiple carriers that we've just spoken about. In terms of the no carrier can do it all, again, we've tackled that again by partnering with lots of different providers, all used to their strength within the networks. So our big bulky traffic will go via you know, maybe the likes of TNT Express or the likes of DX Freight, whereas our small postal items will go via the likes of Secured Mail. Our kind of mid-range consignments may go via the likes of DPD and Yodel and UK Mail and people like that. And then we've got international service provisions as well. So it means that we're tailoring each line of traffic and each various different size of freight via the partners that can handle that particular type of freight. So that's that side of things. In terms of it being absolutely hard work and relentless in terms of the pace of the express parcel sector. Well, what we actually do is that we don't get inbound trailers in at 4 o'clock in the morning. We're utilising partners for the delivery side of things, which means that we don't open the depots until 8 o'clock in the morning. Of course, so 24 hours, and we will man the phones 24 hours, but actually we don't really start the operations until 8 o'clock in the morning. That's when the fulfilment kicks off. And then during the course of the day, we're dealing with exception management and liaising with the carrier partners that we've got, making sure that our things are going as they should do on behalf of our customers. And then it gets to the afternoon bit, which is our collection fleet that go out onto the road and start collecting from our local customers. They bring back to our warehouse to consolidate the traffic, along with our fulfilment jobs that are actually going out and feeding across the various different carriers as well. And then the carrier partners come into us on a daily basis, or we drop into the local carrier partners at a sensible time in the afternoon, which means that virtually 6 o'clock we're all done and finished again, and ready to start enjoying life outside of work before we then go back in the next day. So these are just some of the things that we've done to combat some of those challenges I've seen over the course of the last 20 odd years within the industry. And if any of that resonates with you, and you are in a business at the moment where you think that you could be potentially tweaking things to your benefit, then I'd like you to get in contact with me. You'll find all of my contact details on my LinkedIn profile, which is linkedin.com/in/Daniel Allen, and then you'll be able to make contact through there, and then we'll have a chat, maybe arrange an appointment so that we can have a coffee and see whether there's any synergy there. Thanks for watching. Cheers.